Welcome back to In the Slant. How are we doing today, fellas?
Doing pretty good.
Not too shabby. Just got off work.
Doing pretty good, just chilling.
All right, so today there's not really much news things to talk about. We are going to be playing a little bit of a game today between each other, but the whole Kyler Murray situation looked like it's going to be coming to a close. Apparently, his agent did release a noteworthy, kind of essay, if you want to say it. It was really long, and I didn't even read it myself, but apparently the whole thing is that Kyler Murray just wants to be paid, and I'm not even sure why Arizona would be reluctant to do it, where he has to go and delete everything on social media and be all weird about it. But maybe there's something on the inside we just don't know about. What do you guys think about? I think it's pretty obvious Arizona is going to extend him. I mean, like, there's no way they'd be like, no, we don't think you're worth it. We can't do it. I just don't get it. What's going on there, man?
I think it's just because you see Kyler Murray Kyler Murray sees all these quarterbacks getting huge extensions, and he's like, well, I'm already playing on that kind of level as we speak, so why am I making technically 30 mil less than some of these players? What's he getting, $9 mil or something like that?
Well, yeah, he's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah, that's important. You know, once he gets past that, then they'll definitely talk big numbers with him.
Yeah, with the team that they built around him too. I mean, they gave him DeAndre Hopkins. They got him a lot of weapons. Rondale Moore. He's a third string, fourth string. But he came out as a rookie, and everybody knew with his size, he was going to go off in the slot, and that's basically what he did. So I mean, I don't really see him going anywhere. I think the Cardinals he's just too big of a move to make to lose somebody like that, especially somebody you drafted so high. Yeah. You better watch this. You better shush.
Yeah, I thought you were saying he was going to Green Bay.
No. He won't go to Green Bay. I don't see him going anywhere, honestly. I think it's just one of those things where he wants money. They'll work it out, restructure some contracts, and they'll find money.
Then I guess one other thing we can mention is that Buccaneers lose an offensive lineman. Ali Marpet retires at 28 years old. Nothing too much to go into that. So that sucks for the Buccaneers. It looks like they'll be looking for more offensive linemen. But today we're actually be playing a little bit of a game. So we want the loser to be punished somehow. We're not totally sure how we're going to do it yet, but we have 12 quarterbacks listed. And we're going to be playing a little bit of a quarterback carousel. So basically, all of us during the week, we're making predictions, and we're going to have reasons on why we think maybe some of these quarterbacks will be staying or going elsewhere. So it should be fun. So I guess we'll go ahead and just start it off. First quarterback I want to talk about is Jimmy Garoppolo, because I feel like there's going to be so many different answers between all of us. So whoever wants to start, tell me.
Jimmy G off. So I think Jimmy G is going to end up at the Colts. And the reason being is, one, they have a good offensive line, which is, I feel like, is all that Jimmy G needs. And Jimmy G needs is a good O-line, because he's a good game manager and all that. So I think the Colts is a good fit for him. Carson Wentz will come up later, but I think Jimmy G to the Colts is my pick.
I'm actually going to go off that, too. That's also my pick.
You picked Colts, too?
Yeah, I picked Colts, too, because, I mean, they have Jonathan Taylor. They're a pretty big run offense. So, I mean, you don't really need...
Jimmy G is used to that.
Yeah, you don't really need a clutch quarterback in those situations. Jimmy's clutch. I mean, he beat us, so, I mean, I can't complain too much, but he can make it happen sometimes, even though there were times where I guess his coach would completely stop throwing the ball in a certain quarter because he didn't want Jimmy to throw. But Colts are going to be those teams where they're balanced. They can handle a decent quarterback, taking up a decent cap.
Okay, well, I actually have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Did you have Bucks too? Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I thought that was in the air, but I'm glad we agreed on that.
I didn't know for sure either. Honestly, this was actually a lot tougher than we thought. We'll obviously go through all 12, and you guys will know what 12 we listed. There's some quarterbacks we listed out. But for me, the reason why I just picked Jimmy G to the Bucks, because the Bucks will obviously be looking for a quarterback, and there's still the looming thing about Tom Brady eventually coming back, if he does. And apparently Bruce Arians has already ruled out that he would not help Tom Brady to go to a different team if he came out of retirement. So Jimmy G plugs in there. Jimmy G played behind Tom Brady, so maybe he knows the system. I don't know. We'll see. That was just my prediction. I think Jimmy G to the Bucks makes sense. They're going to need a quarterback. They already have Blaine Gabbert. I mean, he's had high praise for him, but I don't see him being the starter.
And like we just said, I agree with the Tampa Bay. Just because they have a complete team, I think still. I don't know what kind of contracts they have coming up this offseason, but I'm sure they get a quarterback, they can resolve everything else and go back to the way they were the last 2 years.
And that's another thing I want to add on to that Jimmy G thing too, is that Tom Brady's a good game manager, and that's exactly what Jimmy G is. So him
game manager for Tom Brady.
No, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
He did handle the Packers pretty well.
Hey. Honestly, yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, one other thing about Jimmy G, though. is San Francisco going to be able to trade him, or do you think they're going to have to cut him? Oh, do you think they would? I don't think they would cut him. I think they would trade him before they would like cut him.
Definitely try to get some.
They would definitely try to get
It's
some.
not gonna be. I don't even think it's gonna be a first though. Like,
I don't think
maybe
so.
not a first. Yeah,
No, I don't think it'll be a first. But it doesn't sound like. It sounds like San Francisco might even keep Jimmy G. We'll kind of see how that goes. But the next one I think is going to be Jameis Winston. Whoever wants to. Where do you have Jameis Winston going?
I got him going to the Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, I got him going to the Broncos.
So they're not getting Aaron Rodgers then.
Okay, no. I feel like he'll either re-sign with the Saints and work out with that deal for like another prove-it deal because I mean their situation at quarterback right now isn't it Taysom Hill? Like that's who they're running with right now.
That's what.
So
yeah.
he's a dynamic player, probably one that I've never seen before, to be honest. The quarterback that literally has played wide receiver, running back. He moves around in the system. Yeah,
but he's not the guy there. He's not.
Yeah, he's not. But then again, I could see them resigning him to have him. But my pick initially was the Broncos.
So see, with me,
him.
oh sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
I had Jameson Winston staying at the Saints too because before he got injured, I didn't think he was doing too bad.
Yeah, he actually wasn't.
They were like what 5-2, 5-3.
Yeah, he was going off. I mean, he smacked us out of the gate. So I mean.
And then, like I said, once he recovers well, I'm sure he'll go back to the Saints and they'll do their thing. So that's why I got him.
I also had Saints too, just to get that out of it. I just feel like New Orleans needs a quarterback to stay there. You're gonna be the only one with the different. Well, actually, I guess you said Broncos, which is that's your choice.
Yeah, I'm saying that's if they don't resign.
No, but
I'm going with Broncos.
You have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, this is a game.
So fine. I'll
so who are you choosing?
No, you wrote Broncos.
I'll take Broncos.
He's
I'll
Broncos.
take Broncos.
I said Saints.
Different.
You guys already kind of said the reasoning.
I went with just a sneaky pick because I was thinking about it. Backup quarterback for the Giants, and then they're gonna keep on trying out Daniel Jones if he doesn't work out. Boom, because they already basically said they're gonna keep on trying with him. So why not have a decent backup quarterback?
Yeah,
but see, with Winston, I don't think he'll take a backup position. In my opinion, I don't think he
might have
performed as a starter.
If he leaves,
I think New Orleans would be his best chance to start again. To be honest.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I mean, I guess he could go to the Giants theoretically, but I don't think the Giants would be that interested in Winston. That's my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
That's just a sneaky pick.
I don't know. I got him never being a backup, or at least for right now.
And then probably, obviously, the most important quarterback who could eventually be moved this offseason, Aaron Rodgers. So we'll start with you. Where do you? I'm going to assume. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Easy. He's staying. I don't see him going nowhere. He said that he wanted to live out a career like Dirk Nowitzki and stay with the team forever to the end. So I mean, I'm hoping that as a Packers fan, but then again, it's his choice. We'll see.
I actually had the obvious one. I just chose Broncos. I think I know it's the obvious one, but that's the one I chose. I just said he's going to Denver, and that's that. I mean, we all kind of know why. The offensive coordinator's there, or was it quarterback's coach? Or no, was it the offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett's there, and they're heavily interested in Aaron Rodgers. But obviously, it's completely up to Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't made a decision yet, so we'll see what he decides on.
Dad, I'll just jump into it real quick because I also have the Denver Broncos. So basically what Brady said, I think they have like the weapons they need around a quarterback to win it, like go all the way. They have a decent defense still, even with getting Von Miller and all that. And I mean, the O-line could use some work. But I mean, other than that, they got a pretty decent team that I think could take Aaron Rodgers all the way. I mean, yeah, it's a harder division, but I mean, with that defense and those weapons with him, I mean, I don't see how they don't make playoffs.
Yeah, and I can agree with these two. I did say the fan favorite, the Broncos. Now, see, with Aaron, considering everything they got to deal with this offseason, I don't see him going back to the Packers just because the whole cap situation. That's just my opinion. Yeah,
they cut it down almost half now, and that's only restructuring like 2 contracts.
And I see Zadarius. I think you guys are going to cut him too, right?
Yeah, either cut him or restructure him. Yeah, depending if he wants to stay, but he made some Instagram posts and he's like with eyes looking out. I don't know.
Come back home to Baltimore.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say. It seems like he's already about to go back to Baltimore or whatever.
Yeah, I have the Broncos for Aaron Rodgers.
All right, next one. Obviously, going from Aaron Rodgers to Mitchell Trubisky is obviously a little bit of a downfall, but some people around the league believe that Mitchell Trubisky has never been given a fair chance. Matt Nagy's offense, he was a bad fit. So Mitchell Trubisky, I'm going to let whoever wants to start on that one.
I'll start this one off just because I do have faith in Mitchell Trubisky. I'm not saying like he's like a top 10 starter or anything, but I think he is good enough to be in this league. Any quarterback that has played under the Chicago has just not looked good at all. So I don't think you can blame the guy just yet. So I think a good fit for him would be the Washington Commanders. I think that is where he needs to go. They have a good offense, pretty young. I mean, he would fit in perfectly. I think he's better than Taylor Heineke for sure off the start. And that's the best quarterback they have, so I think Mitchell Trubisky should go to the Commanders.
No, I'm going to step in as well. I have the same thing, but I don't think he could be a starter at Washington. I feel like they need to go after somebody like Wilson. I know we haven't got to him yet, but that's where I think he's going to.
So you had Trubisky, Washington?
Yeah, but I don't think as a starter, though. You know, I don't believe in him. After I've seen in Chicago, like he said, it might not have been much.
It was Nagy. I mean,
Yeah,
he
you think
had
so?
Nagy from the very start, so I mean, that's the only offense he's ran under was Nagy's, and Nagy's gone now, so Justin Fields is probably going to break out now. We don't know what we're going to see with them.
We'll see.
Every quarterback, Jared, has looked awful under him, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you cannot blame Mitchell Trubisky yet. And, like, there were some times he was looking pretty good, and then, like, the next game would just be looking terrible again.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on the scheme for him. I got him going to the Panthers.
Panthers?
That's my choice because I mean
that's not a bad choice.
because I could see anywhere he goes, he's gonna fight for his position.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not
true.
he's not gonna come into a team and be like, I'm the main starter here. They're gonna have to put him in the system, throw him through the schemes, and kind of see exactly what his strong suits are. Try to be able to use them in games.
And he might prove me wrong. He might just ball out. So, you know, we'll have to see.
We've all seen a new Spider-Man movie, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna quote you haven't seen it yet?
No, I didn't go see it.
Okay, I'm gonna quote Zendaya out of the movie. Spider-Man's girlfriend. Expect disappointment, and you'll never be disappointed. So I had the same thing. Mitchell Trubisky to Washington. I feel like my dream is for Washington to go get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or whatever they can do. But I ultimately think they will just go sign Mitchell Trubisky and then draft a quarterback. So I hope I'm wrong. And honestly, I wouldn't mind giving Mitchell Trubisky a chance. It just like I've been so impatient for a quarterback in Washington since like Kirk Cousins, obviously. And even then, that was always a murky situation with always franchise tagging him. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Mitchell Trubisky to Washington, and I'm gonna be like I said, I'm not expecting anything. I'm gonna just quote Zendaya and roll with that.
And I'll assume since as a Washington fan, you know, you guys are desperate for quarterback. It's been forever.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you guys should pull the trigger. You guys brought in Fitzmagic. He got hurt. You know what I mean? That sucks. How many snaps did he play before he got hurt?
I think he played like 2 drives. That was
Yeah,
it.
see, and that sucks. You know, he brought him in for a 1-year deal, it was.
Yeah, he went 3 and out on his first drive, and then the second drive, I think it was like second or third down. I don't know if he got sacked. I think he got the ball away, but then didn't get back up, and he got like a hip injury that kept him out for the season. So even then, I wasn't even fond of the Fitzpatrick situation.
Yeah, I mean, I still would have liked to see how he did,
liked
though, you
it.
know?
I liked it.
I did not like it.
Fitzmagic coming.
I thought he was the best quarterback on
Washington.
the team.
Yeah, he was definitely.
I mean, yeah, but honestly,
had the experience.
I
for
wanted
sure.
Heineke to be the guy from day one based off what we saw him do against Tampa Bay.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I thought he deserved a chance.
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
saw him full season. There was this stretch where he was 4 games, 4 wins in a row. And I thought, you know, maybe this guy could be it. But then we started to play our division against Dallas. He looked awful and just throwing the ball in stupid spots. I'm like, he can't be. I love Heineke, but I can't imagine him being the franchise
Speaking
quarterback.
of Commanders, let's go to another quarterback that I think that's actually going there. I believe that Cam Newton would probably be he would probably be my favorite pick to go to the Commanders. I like his attitude. Cam Newton. I think Cam with McLaurin.
Okay. Cam Newton to Washington.
Cam Newton to Washington.
Just because Ron Rivera's there. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, that could definitely be a big factor in it, but we could see.
Where do you guys have Cam Newton going?
Real quick, all love the Cam Newton. You know, he didn't play the best, though, when he was in New England.
Right.
So I honestly don't see him going anywhere as of right now.
That's how I have it, too. I don't think he'll be on a
You
team.
don't think he's going anywhere?
I said Cam Newton, retired or not on a team.
Dang.
Dude, that's crazy that you transitioned to Cam. Dude, if we signed Cam Newton, I would not be happy with that.
Why?
I would not
he does
be.
not look good.
He's not look good anywhere.
That was under Bill Belichick's team.
I know,
And
but
Mac
even
Jones
one of the best
straight
coaches
took
in the
that
NFL.
spot.
even in Carolina, it just
in
was.
Carolina, they have a good team around him, and he can even outperform Sam Darnold. Like you think he's gonna get a starting spot anywhere? He does not need to be in the league, at least as a starter.
Carolina even fired their offensive coordinator like through that game stretch where Cam Newton was starting. I believe.
Try to help him or what?
No, I don't even. Honestly, I stopped paying attention to Carolina games towards the end of the season, but. Yeah, I think Cam Newton for me, he could potentially go somewhere maybe like during the middle of the season if an injury occurs.
Probably
but
not a starter, but like he will be on the roster.
he could be a backup
Yeah,
somewhere.
maybe,
I won't say
yeah.
that he just doesn't deserve to be on a roster whatsoever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying backup somewhere, but he has to have the expectation going in that he's not a starter anymore. It's just not. It's not. That's not it for him.
I can agree.
So out of the league for us, and you have Washington.
Yeah, I do got Washington. I like that pick a lot, and I still do. And we'll see what happens. I can see him going somewhere, but we'll see.
Russell Wilson.
I got him going to the New Orleans Saints.
Saints.
Saints cap situation is a little messed up though. So I mean,
it's a little bit messed up, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like they could somehow work it out where they can keep some solid pieces around him, hit Russell Wilson on there, and they can compete every year for a few years here on out.
I don't think he's going nowhere. I think he's staying where he's at.
Yeah, in Seattle.
Yeah, I've seen him buy some houses and other properties, stuff like that. But I mean, you don't know what's going through that man's mind. He's spent a lot of time there, and we'll see.
I actually had him staying in Seattle as well. There's really no particular reason behind it. I just don't really see not Washington, Seattle trying to trade him away. As much as I would love Washington to go get him, because that's been like one of the most heavy rumors. It's been one of the most heavy rumors that Russell Wilson is like interested in playing for us, but I don't know if we'll pull the trigger on what Seattle would want for him is the problem.
And another thing with Wilson too, though, is just that I feel like he is like super unhappy there. And like a little thing I saw is that like I saw them getting rid of Russell Wilson and then like drafting someone like Malik Willis as like has that same play style as Russell Wilson. So then like trading a first round pick, I feel like Malik Willis is one of the best quarterbacks in that draft. And I feel like if they just trade Russell Wilson, get like a mid-draft or mid-first round pick or something, at least. Well, obviously probably a little bit more, but just at least that, and get Malik Willis because he's not going to be one of the 2 first quarterbacks off the board. I think he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I have Wilson going to Washington. Like I said earlier, Washington should just pull the trigger on the quarterback. They've been through uphill and downhill trying to find one. So I think they should just pull the trigger. And get
so you have Trubisky and Russell Wilson going to Washington.
Well, I didn't have Trubisky as a starter.
Oh, so okay, you said okay. I mean,
you could be a backup, you know.
That's fine. I honestly, that's not a bad way to write the list. I was like trying to just pick one team for each. But
yeah, I really couldn't find another.
It's not a bad strategy. All right,
we don't know because of draft too situation. So like when teams really start to draft somebody, that's
what makes this game interesting though.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna get to the point to where obviously we're gonna find out, and that's gonna be real fun.
Carson Wentz. This one I think is gonna be probably the harder one.
I got a pick. Okay. There's been a little bit of rumors about it. I got him going to the Pittsburgh Steelers to be their starting quarterback. I think he has more potential than Big Ben. Big Ben somehow brought them to the playoffs. I think you just plug in Carson Wentz. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback, but he's better than Ben. And I think he can take him a little bit further than Ben probably could.
The reason they got in the playoffs is they beat an injured Ravens team to get to the playoffs, which they shouldn't have had if we were healthy. Sorry I had to put that out there. But I also have Carson Wentz. I have him as clueless because I don't think he's going back to Indianapolis, but I don't know where he would land.
You got to pick because you're going to take an L.
That's fine.
Honestly, he was the last one I had to pick for as well, and I did not know where to put him at all. So this one, I'm probably like wilding out with this one, to be honest. I had Cleveland. The reason being, let me explain this. I think Cleveland is going to want to have Baker Mayfield pressure to compete and be better. So they bring in a guy to compete with Baker Mayfield. And I just picked Carson Wentz going to Cleveland because I almost imagine Indianapolis will just cut him to save a little bit of that money. I think it'll be like $15 million or something. 12 or 15 million, I think, is what they'll save if they do cut Carson Wentz. So then Carson Wentz, I could see him going to like Pittsburgh, but I have another selection later on. But I just said Cleveland as a guy to go compete with Baker Mayfield. And I honestly think that's probably one of my worst choices, but that's what I had.
I had that he was gonna be for the Texans.
Texans?
Yeah, I was thinking real hard about it because I don't see him going anywhere either. So like I was thinking more of like he could stay. He went like 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I looked at this guy because I was so unsure. And honestly, that's not a bad record for a quarterback. And he could end up signing a 1 more year.
Can I just say something real quick? Please. How are you gonna pick a team that doesn't need a quarterback? We
don't know Watson's scenario. Whenever
Davis Mills.
No,
the disrespect to Davis Mills is crazy.
He'd go there and then he would fight for that position. Just like
Davis Mills.
Not first.
That is Davis Mills.
To be fair though, I could see Houston doing something stupid like that, bringing in wins for no reason.
They bring in any quarterback, but like the thing is that they're gonna make him compete with Mills. Mills came out of nowhere and started doing really good.
Yep.
They're not just gonna be like, okay, he's our guy next year.
He came out of nowhere.
They
got
could bring-
drafted to be a quarterback.
Lovie Smith already said that Davis Mills is their guy.
Did he?
He did.
Dang.
But I don't know if that means anything. I mean, they say, coaches and front office members say stuff like that all the time. can't really throw people under the bus in front of the media. The media will run away with that. So,
but Skyler means he came out of nowhere. Like I had no idea who this guy was till he started.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I think he was like
you know what I mean?
I don't know what round he was selected, but I feel like he was later rounds. And then obviously with Watson, and then they did have Tyrod Taylor, and then Mills just got thrown.
I forgot
For some
about
reason,
him.
I felt like he's like a second or third pick, but I might be like completely.
I don't remember exactly what round he was taken. To be honest,
Didn't
with you.
Taylor go down with an injury as well?
Who?
Taylor
Who?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Duh, I don't know. I just said Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, he did. I think week 1 he was out, so Mills had to start, and then when Tyrod Taylor came back, he got the starting job. But then I think Tyrod Taylor was just bad, so they just benched him again for Davis Mills. And Mills, like I said, he did pretty solid for the position he was in. But Carson Wentz to Houston, that's a wild one. I thought I had a wild one in Cleveland, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they did sign Tyrod Taylor to be a veteran, so maybe they would sign another veteran. This one, I think we'll all probably have the same one. It's Kirk Cousins.
Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said Minnesota
obvious.
as well.
Minnesota.
I only put Kirk Cousins on the list because he has been kind of in rumors. Like apparently Minnesota's interested in bringing in Watson. So where would that lead? Where would that lead Kirk Cousins? But if he did get cut, do you think? I mean, I think a team like Indianapolis would sign him. To be honest,
yeah.
I think they would.
He would
Bad
definitely.
choice.
He would definitely go to a team. But I don't think any team is going to go out of their way to trade for Kirk Cousins. But
I don't think so.
If
either.
he was a free agent, though, there will be a team that definitely picks
Exactly.
him up because he is a solid quarterback. But people are obviously we know a Vikings fan, and I mean he was telling me like traded him for like first picks. I'm like I'm not giving a first for Kirk Cousins any day of the week.
Yeah, no, Kirk. Like I said, if Kirk goes anywhere, he's going to be cut. I don't think anybody's going to trade for him. I don't.
No.
I don't think so anyway. But hey, who knows? Could happen. So
Did anyone have any
Minnesota.
different than that,
No,
or
I had
No,
Minnesota.
I had Vikings.
Okay,
also.
Okay,
I had
that's what I thought. I think we're getting more towards the guys. Or we already talked about Cam Newton, and then here's another one. We'll probably have all the same. Derek Carr, obviously.
Staying
I
in
mean,
Vegas.
he's
it's
not
really been
going anywhere.
literally
I gotta
as a Raiders fan, Josh McDaniels has already basically said that Derek Carr is their guy. They've already been talking about giving an extension. There's been rumors about $40 million a year. I don't know about all that,
Sheesh.
That
but
would be a lot to give to Derek
but
Carr.
I think like 30 to 35 mil for Derek Carr, especially how he's been performing. I mean, I definitely pay him that if he wants that.
Just get him a playoff win, then we'll pay him that. All right.
You got to win a playoff game first.
Yeah, we got finesse in that game too. I just want to make.
In my opinion, not Oakland. Las Vegas should have won.
You think so?
Yeah, you remember the
Are we
whistle
gonna really
call?
just debate
Remember
the
whistle
referee call?
You know what I'm talking about,
The
Dustin?
whistle, I know exactly what play you're talking about, where Joe Burrow, like, technically, or apparently the whistle was blown and
Yeah.
Joe Burrow threw a touchdown still.
And they counted it. You can clearly hear the whistle too. So
I don't know, man.
definitely got finessed.
You think so? I don't even. Honestly, even if Joe Burrow didn't score there, I still think the Bengals probably would have won. And Derek Carr did have a chance to tie it towards the end, and he threw an interception. So
That's true.
In the touchdown.
he does. So he's honestly, I think Derek Carr is getting traded.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding. Okay, Baker Mayfield.
I think staying.
Staying.
Both GM and coach both said that he's their guy. So I mean, if anything, they could reach out, grab a couple, draft a couple, see exactly, see who can outplay him.
I thought
like
you
Brady
told me
said.
earlier he was going to the Titans or something.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no.
I think they definitely have faith in Baker Mayfield. They're definitely going to keep their guy. They're going to pay him. They're going to just build around him even more. They're going to stay in Cleveland.
Yep, he's staying with the Cleveland Browns. I don't know who else they would go for. I mean, I guess you want to go for Watson, but I just don't see the place where he wasn't really interested in them at all anyways, and they didn't show any interest to him. Well, from all the signs we've seen, Baker Mayfield's a dude, and I think that's who they're going to be rolling with next year too.
I think, yeah, Cleveland, Baker Mayfield, but I honestly think Cleveland will bring in somebody, whether that's draft or sign a quarterback to put pressure on Baker Mayfield to perform better. Obviously, the shoulder injury last year didn't help him out, but I seriously think that there will be some competition there in Cleveland. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Cleveland rolls forward with Baker Mayfield after this or not.
And that's like the thing too with Baker is just like the highs have looked really high with him, and then the lows have just looked really
Been
low.
very inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the year I don't remember exactly what their record was, but the year they got to to the second round or the AFC Championship?
I think it was against the Chiefs, right?
No, I think it was the second round. I
No,
don't think
it was
the
the second round. That's right.
I don't
That's
think it was the AFC Championship. Yeah, the second round, that was like the highs, obviously, and then Odell being there, but now obviously Odell is gone. So it'll be interesting to see what direction Cleveland ends up ultimately taking, but I assume Baker will be there for at least one more year. If he doesn't perform, he'll be somewhere else, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
All right, second to last one. This one, I think we'll all have different ones. Deshaun. Well, actually, let's talk about Kyler Murray first. Let's get this one out of the way. We already kind of talked about it earlier. Had him on the list before all this agent stuff went down. I think Arizona for all of us.
Staying, yeah.
They're
Arizona
gonna pay
ain't
him
going nowhere.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna pay the man. There's no way. I mean, if Arizona really folded that much that they weren't gonna pay Kyler Murray and then trade him away, it would make no sense to me. I mean, they'd get a lot for him, but franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees.
I feel like there'd be many teams that we wouldn't even expect that would be like there'd be multiple teams that you would never expect that would be offering.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
he's
so
a
many
dual threat
teams.
quarterback. You know, he can do it all right now.
Yeah,
and I think that's the new era of the quarterbacks. You know, mobile and they can throw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They can do damn near
yeah,
everything.
Pocket passers are becoming a little extinct a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the quarterbacks coming in are very, like you said, mobile and are able to move and not statues in the pocket anymore. That's where the league is headed. It looks like, and I'm all for it. It's a lot of fun watching these quarterbacks run around. All right, this one I want to spend a lot of time on. Deshaun Watson. I hope we all four have different ones. So.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go real quick. Okay, at first I had him not going anywhere just because of his situation. You know, he's been going through this for what has it been 2 years now? I feel like for quite a while. So, but then I also changed it and I had him at the Steelers.
You had Steelers? That's actually what I had.
I had that.
You had Steelers too?
Yeah,
wow.
Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why did you choose Steelers?
Just because their quarterback situation with Big Ben, and I could just see once he gets ready to go, they'll go ahead and reach out and grab him, bring him in. Because I mean,
it'll be that easy to just go and grab him.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's not on an NFC team.
Huh?
He's on an NFC team now.
Who, Watson?
Yeah.
AFC.
Oh my goodness gracious.
AFC. Yeah, Houston's in AFC.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it's a reach, but I just thought it could happen. My bad.
Real quick, I got obviously Steelers because Big Ben retired. And AFC North is deep. They got a bunch of young quarterbacks over there. You got Burrow, Lamar, and Mayfield. You bring in Watson. That AFC North is gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch regardless. But I still have him.
Just like if Aaron Rodgers went to the NFC West, right? Or AFC West. Sorry.
Yeah.
AFC West. I'm doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
And the AFC West with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers was over there, that division would be crazy too. But I chose Watson as well because Pittsburgh's obviously looking for a quarterback. I think Watson would welcome the idea of playing for Mike Tomlin. Players seem to love him. And one thing I also would like to mention is Pittsburgh hired Brian Flores, who was close to wanting Watson in Miami before obviously that whole thing went down. So I'm glad that Brian Flores got a job as well because it almost seemed like he wasn't going to get one based off suing the league.
I think he deserved a head coaching job, honestly.
I think he did too. Yeah. I think he did too. And he risked, obviously he put the job at risk in Houston by suing the league the way he did. And we won't really get into that too much, but so I have Watson to Steelers. It would obviously cost him a lot, but it would be a major change from going to Big Ben to Deshaun Watson in that division to compete. The Steelers still have a lot of good pieces. The defense is still very solid.
And a lot of their players are super, pretty young too. So they're a team if Watson gets on there, they have a couple old players that will probably retire in the next few years. But a lot of their key pieces, all their wide receivers and stuff, are very young. So bringing Watson, so I can see where bringing Watson in would be a good pick.
They still have to resign. They still have to resign Juju, but they have Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Pat Freiermuth.
And they just brought in Harris too, young running back.
Yeah, the Watson, that would be a really good situation. And like I said, I very much would think Watson would welcome the idea because I think Watson has no trade clause. I would assume he would love to play in Pittsburgh for Mike Tomlin, and then of course Brian Flores being over there helps too.
And as being a Ravens fan, it'd be cool to see him go to the Steelers just to see him play again, but I would not like it just because I would hate playing
Lamar
against him.
versus Watson twice a year would be awesome, though.
It would be fun.
Dude,
that
whole division would be fun to watch. Joe Burrow versus Watson, Joe Burrow versus any of those would just be fun.
But it sounds like you have different from all of us.
I kept it basic with the rumors. Obviously there was rumor about the Dolphins. I'm not picking them though. But I'm going with the second most rumored team when all that stuff.
Hold on, let me guess. Carolina?
Yep, I gotta go to the Panthers. There was rumors about it before. They were a team that showed that they were interested from the get-go, but they just didn't work anything out at the time. I think Watson, I mean, he didn't say that he didn't want to play there, but I mean, I'm assuming that he wouldn't mind playing there, especially with how good their defense is. They have good offensive weapons. I think Robbie Anderson is still a good receiver. I just don't think that his quarterback situation is good because for some reason he just fell off. But I think with Watson, you have DJ in. Robbie, you be chilling on that. I think that's a good little wide receiver duo.
Imagine this: if Houston if Carolina wanted to trade for Watson, and then Houston wanted Christian McCaffrey in return.
Ooh.
I think they do.
Would do you think they would do it? Or if you were the GM in Houston, or I guess in Carolina's situation, would you do it? I mean, either situation.
Okay, this is one thing I'll bring up now. I think that sometimes overpaying running backs is getting ridiculous.
That is true.
I feel like a lot of teams are going to start after their rookie extension, just cutting a lot of running backs. I feel like running backs have just been, you can find them anywhere now. So I think with that like, I don't think they'd want to trade for CMC. Just one, if he was like obviously like healthy all the time, that'd be different. Because like,
Right.
I mean, he is a dual threat, like the best dual threat or running back in the league. But without that, I mean, the Texans are just taking a risk and taking on another huge contract that is not going to help them right away if he can't stay healthy.
That's where I gotta stop you real quick because you said you don't think running back should be paid as much. When you got running back like Kamara, CMC, running backs that can catch and do it all. You know what I mean? Then you got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's a good running back.
Yeah,
but he's not more of a hands guy.
But
You
I'm
know
just
what I mean?
saying that a lot of teams, like obviously there's going to be those star running backs that are going to stay in the league. But I'm saying with a lot of teams that just don't have like a
They don't cap.
star.
Like Barkley, for instance, do you think New York's gonna? I think New York. Okay, I'm not actually gonna say that because I don't know for sure. But do you think they? I was gonna say I think they declined his 5th-year team option, but that might be Daniel Jones I'm thinking of. Do you think Barkley will get a big contract from the Giants, or I guess maybe anywhere else?
I do not see where he gets a big contract. I'm not saying that Barkley is not a good running back when he's healthy. I just think that any team that takes it on is a risk. As you can see with people like CMC and Barkley, it's not that when they're healthy they're not playing good, because they do. It's just the fact that they always seem to not be able to stay healthy all season. I feel like that's just too much of a risk because, like, I mean, being someone like Barkley, I think he's going to want, like, a big contract. He's going to be like, look what I did. And, like, if a team's smart, you're not going to pay him when, like, you don't even know if he's going to be able to stay on the field all year long.
That's true. Yeah, the reason why I brought up McCaffrey to Houston, because Houston really doesn't have a running back whatsoever. They have Rex Burkhead. They actually extended him.
I forgot all about him.
Rex Burkhead is not the guy going forward. So imagine they brought in Christian McCaffrey with Davis Mills. That would be a little bit of an interesting backfield. I just am just wondering if Carolina would actually like be willing to do that. I honestly think they probably would.
I feel like, just to butt in real quick, I feel like that would upset CMC, because I feel like at CMC's career at this point, like if he's gonna leave Carolina, like his like team that he's been on forever, he's gonna want to go to a contender that is actually gonna be able to like right away. Because I mean, like, especially with his injuries and stuff that he's always having, like if you're gonna compete like really good for like the next 1 or 2 years, like I don't want that 1 or 2 years to be on the Texans when they need, like, I think a lot of, like, there's gonna be like, if I had to guess, 2 to 3 years before we see the Texans doing anything. I think CMC, if he's gonna get traded, it's gonna be to a contender.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Like I said,
Hopefully
I don't know
with
if
cap room.
I don't know if Carolina will.
I don't necessarily
McCaffrey.
think the problem with running backs are how much they're paid, but it's the cap space.
Is
they-
McCaffrey still on his rookie contract? I think he is, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But anyway, I don't think, they got to look at cap space. I mean, cap space it expanded this year, and it's probably going to expand next year too. But with, you want 4 or 5 players wanting best player money, I mean, that takes a hit on cap. And they got ways to work around it by restructuring and making the signing bonuses. But at the same time, it's pretty crucial for cap space, or else more of these players would have bigger expansions of where they would go. But because cap space is such a huge deal, it's kind of up in the hands of who has the most.
For sure.
Before we go, I'm gonna throw one more quarterback on the spot. Teddy Bridgewater. Colts for me.
Back up somewhere.
Colts. I think he's staying in Broncos.
You can't just say a backup somewhere.
Find a backup for the Broncos.
Give him a backup. All right, you know what?
Fighting for
Just
a
to
spot.
force
in
it,
Denver.
I'm saying he's gonna be backup for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Or honestly, he'd probably go start over for a car.
Oh my, chill out.
All right, I think we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video or episode. Thank you guys for watching. This is In the Slant. We're saying
Peace.
peace.